All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's go get going. So we will start in a child's pose. Okay, so you could bring the knees as wide as you would like. So the wider the knees, the more of a inner thigh stretch you get, and then a little bit of an upper back stretch. And then the closer the knees are, you get a little bit more rounding through that spine. So if you feel like you've been standing all day with a really arched back, that might be good. If you've been sitting all day, I would go knees a little bit wider, and then you can kind of get that extension through that upper back, because a lot of times we're a little rounded forward when we sit all day. So again, just finding that position that's working for you. Lower the head down, reaching through those hands, just closing down those eyes. Start to connect with that breath, just breathing in and out through the nose. You're filling those lungs, so we'll feel that expansion of the rib cage into those inner thighs. And then exhaling all of that breath out. It's starting to be a little bit more forceful with that breath, so really pull that breath in through the nose and press that breath out through the nose. And focusing on that sound of the breath. I'm going to try and keep that sound going the whole time throughout this entire class. And then we'll lift up slightly, walking those hands over to that right side. So you can even walk those hands off of the mat. Big reach out through that left arm, pressing that left hip back to the heel. So finding that side stretch along that left side body. And bring it back to center. And let's go over to that other side. So reaching out through that right arm, pressing that right heel back to the mat, or right hip back to the right heel. And then walk those hands back to center. Coming up onto those hands and knees, that tabletop position. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, we're going to round the spine, press the shoulder blades away, draw that belly up and in. Inhale, drop belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, look up. And exhale, round. And one more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. Okay, now bring it to neutral spine. Let's go ahead and walk those arms forward. So pressing into those palms as we soften that forehead down, maybe that chin down towards the mat. So maybe the head is just hovering. Okay, but we want to be really active in those arms. So pressing into those palms, pulling the forearms towards each other. Those elbows will be lifted off of the ground. Now, if you have enough mobility in those shoulders that we're still really active with the arms and the elbows are on the ground, that's okay. We just don't want to be relaxed into that position. One more breath. Now lower down onto those forearms. Okay, stepping those feet back to our plank. Good, pausing in here, warming up that core. We're going to breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those hips down into that Sphinx pose. Pointing those toes, draw the elbows back, lift up through the crown of the head. And then soften it down, hands underneath those shoulders, press it back into that child's pose. Okay, we're gonna walk those hands over to that right side, side stretch. Bring it back to center. We'll go over to that left side. And bring it back to center into those cat-cows. So dropping the belly, lifting the chest, lift the tailbone. You wanna add sways from side to side, you can. Just any movement you need to warm up that spine, the core. And then bring it to neutral, walking those hands forward, pressing into the palms, softening that head or chin down towards the mat. And slide it forward to our plank, stepping those feet back, holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those hips down. Point the toes, draw those elbows back, lift up through the top of the head. And then we'll soften it back down. Go ahead and press those hips back into that child's pose. So last time through this, walk the hands over to the right and center, over to the left. Good. And center, hands and knees, cat-cows. Any extra movements that you need. Bring it back to your neutral spot, stepping those arms forward and soften it down. And lower those forearms, coming into that plank. Again, 5 seconds, or about 5 breaths. So 3, 2, and 1. Lower those hips down, point the toes, drop back, Sphinx pose. Now, softening it down, let's go back so you can actually see me. Hands are underneath the shoulders, curling those toes under. Okay, if you need to do this through kneeling too, you can, but press yourself up. So we want the shoulders in line with those elbows. Think pull those shoulder blades down and back. We're gonna press and lift up. Good, then lower all the way down onto your stomach. Press, lift back up and back down. One more time, press and lift. Try and lift the hips and shoulders at the same time. Try not to worm your way up, lift. And hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Just a little warm up through those arms. Ooh. All right, maybe pedaling out those feet in down dog. Bend one knee, press that opposite heel down towards the ground, stretching out through those calves, those ankles. There might be a little snap, crackle, pop going on. That's all right. We're working out those kinks. And then inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet top of the mat. Inhaling, that half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, we're gonna rise. Exhale, side stretch to the right. So interlacing those fingers, except for that pointer finger and the thumb. Feel that nice long stretch all along that left side. Inhaling it back up and exhale it to that other side. Inhale, reach it back up and exhale, fold. Flatten out that back and exhale, plant the hands. Step the feet back to our plank. Shift that weight forward. We're gonna add in that push-up. So if you need to go onto the knees, you can. Lower down, shoulders high to the elbows. Press it back up nice and strong. And then go ahead and lower down. And then we'll move into that vinyasa. So lifting up into that up dog or cobra. And then exhaling those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths in our down dog. And then come onto the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet, top of the mat. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, fold. Flat back on that inhale. And exhale, plant those hands, stepping those feet back to our plank. Shift the weight forward. 1 push-up, lower. Shoulders high to the elbows. Press it back up nice and strong. Lower down. Flip the toes. Lift it up, up dog. And exhale, sending those hips up and back into that down dog. One more time through. Good. Inhale on the toes. Step or hop those feet. Inhale the half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, fold. Half lift on that inhale. And exhale, plant the hands. Step, or maybe you hop those feet back, lower into that push-up. Press it back up and down. Flip the toes. Lift that chest, up dog. And exhale, hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. And now come onto the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet top of the mat. Inhaling that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale. We're going to rise to standing, reaching those arms up overhead, and then exhale, sink those hips down into that chair. Core is nice and tight. Hips are sinking down as low as we can. So we do this. The knees are going to come forward slightly as the hips go back. Okay, so it's not all hips back. It's all not knees forward. It's not all knees forward. The knees are going forward as the hips are going back. Reaching those arms up, sink those hips down a little bit. Core stays tight. Shoulders are relaxed. If reaching those arms up is too much, bring the hands to heart center. Good. Now, we're all going to bring our hands to heart center. We're going to twist it over to that right side. So hooking that right, left tricep across that right knee. Hips down, chest lifts, press, and twist. Bring it to center and twist it to that other side. Hooking that right tricep across that left thigh. And bring it back to center. Reach those arms up. Exhale, lower the hands down as we fold. Flat back on that inhale. And exhale, plant the hands. Stepping or hopping those feet back. Lower into that push-up. And then move through that vinyasa. Exhaling those hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Bringing those feet together. We're going to inhale that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale, send it back up. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. And exhale, curl that knee. Stepping that foot through. Inhale, rise up. Reaching those arms up overhead. Core is nice and tight. Bending into that front knee. Okay, try to straighten out that back leg as much as you can. If that hip flexor, this left hip flexor is really, really tight. And it might be a little bit challenging. And we also don't want to straighten that leg. I kind of do it. And then you all of a sudden this back just arches so much. So slight bend in the knee. Make that low back neutral. Try and bend it a little bit more. And then just gently flex this quad muscle. I'll kind of put you in that position without overdoing it. One more breath. Now bring those hands to heart center. Again, we're going to twist. Hook that left tricep across that knee. Really strong through that back leg. Press and twist. Maybe we extend that right arm up. Maybe that left arm extends down, depending on how much mobility you have. Then bring those hands back up to our crescent lunge. Straighten that front leg. Ground that back heel down. Reaching the arms forward as we lower down into our pyramid. So pulling that right hip up and back. Left hip pivots forward and down. Nice flat back as we fold over this right leg. And then we'll plant those hands. Go and step it back to a plank. You can add that push-up if you want. I'm gonna save that for after the chair poses. And then send it back. Downward facing dog. Other side, inhaling that left leg up. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Stepping that foot through. Nice long stance. Inhaling those arms up into that crescent lunge. Core tight. Bend into that front knee. Maybe we can straighten out that back leg. At least try and flex this quad muscle right here. One more breath. And then we'll bring those hands to heart center. Twist it. Hooking that right tricep across that left thigh. Maybe we extend those arms out. And then we'll bring it back to center, reaching those arms up into that lunge. Ground that back heel down, straighten that front leg, and then fold. Flat back on that inhale. Exhale, see if we can fold a little deeper. And then go ahead and plant those hands down, stepping it back to our plank, moving through that vinyasa. And exhaling those hips up and back, down dog when you're ready. Woo. One more breath. Now inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet, top of the mat. We're hopping, nice soft landing. Flat back on that inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. Exhale, sink those hips down so you come into that chair. Now bring those hands to heart center. We're going to twist it over to that right side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist it to that left side. Inhale, bring it back to center. Reaching those arms up. Straighten the legs as we fold. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, plant those hands. Step or hop those feet back right into that push-up. Strong, press it back up. And lower it down. Inhale, lift. Vinyasa. Exhaling those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Now bring those feet together. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it and step that foot through. Inhaling those arms up into our crescent lunge. Exhale those hands to heart center as we twist. Hook that left elbow, press and twist. Bring it back up. Back heel grounds down. Straighten that front leg as we fold. Pyramid. And then plant the hands down. Step it back. Vinyasa. And exhale those hips up and back. Down dog. Feet together. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale it back up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Step that foot through. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Rib cage down, sink into that front knee. Then exhale, the hands to heart center, twist. Hooking that right elbow across that left knee. Inhale, reach it back up. Straighten that front leg, ground that back heel down. And fold. And then plant those hands. Step it back. Vinyasa. And then exhaling those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And now inhale on the toes. Step or hop those feet through to a seat. Now, if you guys join me for the noon recharge, you get to double up on some abs today. All right, anyway, we're gonna reach those arms forward, lifting those legs up, finding that balance, and breathing. Now, if you need to lower the toes down, or maybe even the hands down to modify, that's fine. But do what works for you. Just want to feel that nice challenge through that core, but lifting up nice and tall, breathing. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend it out now. So the shoulders are going to stay lifted, the legs are going to stay lifted, reaching those arms overhead. Again, holding this here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go and just soften it down onto your backs. Maybe you do a full body stretch, or if you want to hug those knees in, that's an option. Really no right or wrong way. Now we'll make our way back up into that boat pose, lifting those legs up. There we go. Now we're gonna add those little twists. Go over to the right and the left. 1, 10, 9, 8, keep breathing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, extend it out, reaching those shoulders off the mat, arms off the mat, legs off the mat. Again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're not done yet. Kick that right leg up. Reach for that ankle. And down. Left leg up. Reach for the ankle. Now this other leg is going to stay lifted. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, stretch 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it. Give it a little break. Ooh, a little burn in the abs. All right, go ahead and rock yourself back up. And crossing those ankles, go ahead and step it right back to our downward facing dog. We're gonna come up onto the toes. Bend those knees, stepping those feet, top of the mat. Inhaling that half lift. You can see. Exhale, fold. Couple more breaths here. Maybe shake the head yes, shake the head no. Is any tension you might be holding in your neck. Good, now bend into those knees. We're gonna rise up to standing and then sink those hips right down into that chair. Bring those hands to heart center. Sink those hips down nice and low. And we're gonna hook that left tricep across that right knee. Okay, so back stays nice and flat. Now from here, we're gonna look down towards our toes, okay? Weight's gonna be on that right foot. We're gonna lift just that left leg up off of the mat, or left heel off the mat. Now, we're gonna take a big step back into that lunge. Good, back heel stays lifted, hold that twist. Bring it back to our chair. Step that leg back. Good, bring it back up. Step it back. One more time, back to our chair. Step it back, now hold. Breathe, keep pressing, twisting. And now spin that back heel down. Ooh, we're gonna circle those arms around into that warrior two. Good, so back foot is parallel to the back of the mat, perpendicular to your front foot. Rib cage down, reaching through those fingers. Okay, now interlace those fingers behind the back. Open up through that chest. And then twist towards that front leg as we fold. So bring that rib cage to the inner thigh. Shoulder comes down to that knee. And then maybe you can gaze back towards that left foot. Now release those hands inside the mat. We're gonna travel over to that left side for that side lunge. Bring it back to center, again over to that right side. 2 more times each way, over to the left, center, to the right, center, one more time, left, center, right, center. Find that forward fold for a sec. And then bend into those knees. We're gonna rise back up. Pivot, turn that right foot out. So again, rebend into that right knee, into that warrior two. Flipping that front palm as we reach that right arm up and back, big side stretch. And then reach out the arms. Straighten that front leg, reach that hand forward, lower that hand down. And reach up with that left arm. And lower the hands down to the mat, step it back to our plank and vinyasa. Exhaling those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, now come onto the toes. Step or hop those feet to the top of the mat. Inhaling that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise to standing. And exhale, sink those hips down into that chair. Now we're gonna bring the hands to heart center. We're gonna twist it over to that left side. So right elbow across that left thigh. Sink those hips down nice and low. Now, look towards those toes. We're gonna lift that right heel up off the mat. Okay, grip those left toes into the ground, stepping that foot back, holding that lunge, holding that twist. Good, now bring it back to center into chair. Step it back, lunge, and chair, and lunge, and chair, and lunge. Hold it. Now we're gonna circle those arms around as we come up into that warrior two. Keep that bend in the front knee, keep that core nice and tight. We're gonna interlace those fingers. Open up through that chest, turning those shoulders to face the front as we fold. And we'll release those hands, okay? Bring them to the inside of the foot. We're gonna walk over to that right side, bending into that right knee. Bring it to center, go over to that left side. Center, to the right. Center, to the left. One more time each way. To the right, center, to the left, and center. Turn those toes and heels out flat back on that inhale, and exhale, fold, walking those hands back, holding it here for a breath. If that tripod headstand is in your practice, basically if you know what I'm talking about, it might be in your practice. Go ahead and play around with that. Maybe go find a wall really quick. We'll hang out for a couple breaths. You can always catch up with us later. And now inhale, re-lengthen out. Hands to the hips as we rise up, re-bend into that left knee. Tee out those arms. Now flipping that front palm, reaching it up and back. And now we'll re-tee out the arms. Straighten that front leg, reaching that hand forward as lower that hand down to the shin. Keep reaching up with that right arm. And then circle those arms down. Step it back to our plank, vinyasa. And from there, go ahead and send those hips back to those heels for that child's pose. Couple breaths. Now go ahead and come back up into that down dog. Come onto the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet, top of the mat. Half lift on that inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, sink those hips down to our chair. Bring those hands to heart center. Twist it over to the right. We're not quite done with those lunges yet. Here we go. Stepping that left foot back. Bring it back to center. Step it back. And center. Step back. And center. 2 more times. Let's go. Step it back. And center. Last one. Step it back. Good. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Good. Bring it back to center. Reaching those arms up. Now here we go. We're going to sink those hips down low, 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 as low as you can. If you need to come up onto those heels, that's fine. Sink it back. We're going to land in that boat pose. Okay, now we're going to go from high boat, this is high boat, to low boat is the one we were doing earlier, where our back is down. So big breath in. And exhale. Here we go. Inhale. It down. Reach the arms up. Exhale. Bring it up to high boat. Good. Hand down. Up. Down. And up. Down. And up. Let's go 2 more. Reach it down. Bring it back up. Last one. Down. Bring it back up. We got to go the other side. Cross the ankles over. Step it back into that down dog. Now come onto the toes. Bend those knees. Step or hop those feet. Top of the mat. Half lift. On that inhale. Exhale, full. Inhale, rise. Ooh, here we go. Down into that chair. Hands come to heart center. Twist it over to that right side. Gazing down at those toes. Here we go. Stepping that right foot back. Good. And center. Good. And back. And center. And back. And center. Let's go 2 more. Step it back. Center. Step it back. Hold. Keep that twist. Good. Bring it back to center. Good. Untwist. Holding that chair. Now sink those hips low, 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 low. Here we go. As control as you can. Sit it back. Here. Hips are up. Not hips. These things. Your legs are up. Arms are lifted. Here we go. Twist to the right. To the left. Center. Extend out long into that low boat. Oops. Bring it back up. Twist to the right. To the left. Extend. Bring it back up. 1 more of those. To the right. To the left. Extend. Hold. Hold, hold, hold. And relax it down. Ooh, good job, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating a little bit. Here you go. Hug those knees in. Maybe give it a little rock from side to side. And now lower those feet down. Let's bridge those hips up. So press into the feet. Roll the tailbone up, the hips up, or the spine up one vertebrae at a time. And slowly roll it back down. Let's go ahead and come back onto hands and knees. Go ahead and step it back down, dog. We'll get that good hip stretch in. So pigeon, lifting that right leg up. Send that right knee to that right wrist. Foot slides across. And slide that left leg back. You see a little bit more active in this. So pressing into that left shin. Draw it back. Right knee's going to pull forward. And then when you're ready, lower down onto the forearms. You can either stack the fists, or bring those arms side by side and just rest your head down there. And try not to sit off onto that right hip. We want more of the weight on the shin. And just stay active, pulling the right knee back, left knee is pulling forward. And come back to those hands. Let's go ahead and send it back to a down dog. Take your time here. Movement that you need. And now let's step that left knee to that left wrist. Foot's going to slide across. And then send that right leg back. And lower onto your forearms. And then resting that head down. So again, pressing into that left shin to the back. Right knee is pulling forward. Stabilizing through those hips. As well as softening into the stretch. And then come back onto those hands. And send it back to that down dog. Go ahead and make your way onto your backs. Hugging that right knee into the chest. That left leg will extend out long. And that left hand will just guide that knee across. Right arm reaches out. bring it back up, switching sides. Hug that left knee in. Right leg reaches out, and then we'll twist. And bring it back to center. And hug both knees into the chest. Let's give it a little rock from side to side. Reach those arms out, reach the legs out, reach the arms overhead. Full body stretch, fingertips down to those toes. And exhaling those arms down by the sides, just pausing for just a few moments here. Let yourself completely relax. Begin to deepen your breath. Let's begin to move the fingers and the toes. Reaching those arms overhead, that big stretch. Fingertips down through those toes. And hugging the knees in as we roll it over onto that right side. Right arm up with the head. Left arm just falls in front, completely resting on your side. And gently make your way up into that seated position. Keeping those eyes closed, sitting tall, just pausing here for a moment. Taking that big breath in. Exhale, open that side out. Go one more time, big breath in. And out. Keeping those eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great evening. Then we have that all levels 25-minute yoga class at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning if you guys are interested. All right, have a good one.